So welcome to another video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander.
And I'm Grant.
And this is just kind of a, what do we want to call this? Debriefing, so to speak, kind of a wrap up. We just got home like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, 30 minutes ago.
From Origins 2018. Here in Indiana, we drove all the way to Columbus, so about a 3-hour drive, went there and back. We just went for the day today. I just kind of wanted to give you a little wrap-up of how the convention was for us, some of the things that we saw, and some things that you can expect to see from some kind of Origins coverage, so to speak, from us here in the next couple of days and weeks coming up. As you can see, there's a couple of games we've got on display. Grant picked up the latest game in the D-Day series from Decision Games. Want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, D-Day at Iwo Jima. You own D-Day in Omaha Beach, which is designed by John Butterfield. I own D-Day at Tarawa, which is designed by John Butterfield. There's another iteration to the series called D-Day at Peleliu. I believe John Butterfield designed that as well. So this is their newest version, just came out, I want to say 30 days ago. It is not designed by John Butterfield, but I believe it is the same system. It is a solitaire game on the invasion of the island of Iwo Jima in February of 1945, so nearing the end of World War II in the Pacific. Designed by John Youst, and I'm probably butchering that name, but I picked this up normally at $65, and I'm going to tell you that I probably overpaid for it, but it has a mounted map, yes, which is really thick, really heavy. I paid $90. I probably overpaid, but I wanted it. I've enjoyed that series, so I picked it up. Had a little extra money, and I decided to do it. So I'm glad I did it. It's from Decision Games.
And you also picked up a couple other smaller games from from the Folio series.
Yep.
These are we got the mini Folio ones here.
And they are both solitaire. I own Commandos in Burma, Merrill's Marauders in the same series, which is a look at commando operations in Burma and Indonesia, I think in 1943, 1944. Very interesting system. These are two games in that similar system, although completely different focus. One here, the blue one, is called Rogers Rangers, which is associated with the American Revolutionary War.
I think it's French-Indian War.
That was American Revolution.
French-Indian War was raging.
Okay. My fault. My bad. So the French and Indian War, so in the 1750s. Solitaire game. Looks very cool. I've enjoyed the other one in the series that I played, so I picked it up. This was $14, I think. So I thought that was a good value. The other one is called Series, and I think it's called Operation Stolen Base. So it is obviously a space game or a sci-fi themed game. Also solitaire, where you are commanding a fleet of ships and you are trying to perform certain missions and destroy enemies. Both of these play in about an hour. Very simple system, very good little games, and both
little things to play around with.
Yeah, both a value. That was $14.99.
Decision Games is fascinating to kind of say. They have so many games that they stock a lot of other companies' games.
They do.
Some Compass games. They had some Avalanche Press. They had some Hexasim games. A bunch of different games. That was cool to see. But they also had kind of initial for show copies of some games that are upcoming.
This was cool.
Yeah, we got to see the newest game from Harold Buchanan that's coming out. Who's putting that out? Is it them?
It's their S&T Press.
Okay, it's S&T Press who's putting it out.
So I want to say it's, is it World at War magazine? I can't remember.
Is it Strategy and Tactics?
Strategy and Tactics, sorry. We are exhausted, by the way, so I apologize. We got up this morning at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
We've driven 6.5 hours through a squall. It's now 9 o'clock, and I'm bushed, frankly. So,
but that game looked so nice.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
The map's beautiful.
Yeah,
there'll be pictures on our blog about that.
It is called the Campaigns of 1777. So it is specifically the American Revolutionary War. if you know anything about Liberty or Death from GMT Games, which is designed by Harold Buchanan, the same designer, this game focuses on that 1 year in the American colonies. The map was gorgeous.
Oh my gosh.
It actually rivaled, I think, the Liberty or Death map. Very similar look and feel.
Yeah,
it was different. There were some differences.
Very realistic looking though, like
so beautiful.
And it's a point-to-point movement map, and they had a sheet of the counters which looked gorgeous.
Well, they had Native Americans, they had British troops, British leaders. Gentleman Johnny Burgoyne was one, Schuyler, and then on the Patriot side, Washington. So it really looks interesting. So you're going to have battles like, I believe, Saratoga is in that. So, but it's all the campaigns in 1777. That's coming out, I believe, in Strategy and Tactics. Did he say 216?
I think that's what he said.
And they're currently on 211. So he said about October, November.
But it looks great.
Yeah.
That was one. He kind of popped that out and showed us.
Yeah, which was cool.
Showed us that. I'm like, oh, it looks so good. That was some cool primer. They also, I don't know what the game was. I can't remember the name.
It was a Roman game.
It was a Roman game.
Something Romanus.
Oh, man. And that one looked fantastic. That's a big box game.
It was a $120 game.
Bucks.
He said it would be $120.
That's coming out soon. They had some great offerings that I'm looking forward to. That was really neat to kind of sit down and just peruse their games.
We spent about 45 minutes there.
I got to look at everything that they have there because it's so cool.
And I was pretty forward with Doc. I said hi, and they're kind of into their own thing, and I think it was hilarious. Either it was his wife,
I think it was his wife,
or someone that worked there came over and made the comment, "Oh yeah, I know the Player's Aid. I watch your videos," which I thought was hilarious. And then she made the comment, "Yeah, I send him the links all the time, and he doesn't watch them." So I think we made a connection with Doc. We gave him a business card.
So if you're watching,
Doc, please.
Thank you very much.
But anyway, that was cool. Well worth that 45 minutes we spent there at Decision Games booth. They're at Gen Con too. They'll have some of the similar stuff.
Yeah, we'll go say hi to them again.
We'll say hi, but we may not. I don't know that I'm going to spend any more money. I spent $100, $120 there today. So, but yeah, I got 3 new solo games that I'm going to play through, and I'm pretty excited. 2 of them are new. So pretty cool.
Yeah. And other things we dropped by Lock and Load Publishing. They were there. It was really nice. They had a couple of tables set up in their small booth as well. They had all of their usual Lock and Load tactical offerings. A lot of the Nations at War series. We've got one of those here. Desert Heat.
Yep.
David Heath.
Dak.
Who's the owner, was gracious enough to let us have a copy of that. I think they didn't have very many left. We just went on Saturday, and they said they'd had a great con and sold a lot of copies, so that was really nice. Good to see that, War Games going strong.
Yeah, which is good.
And he walked us through a few things that they've got on the docket. We'll show you an interview with that post here real soon. He goes through some of the things. They had the 5th edition rules for Lock and Load Tactical, which come in a beautiful ring bound,
spiral bound, very nice.
So that's
very nice. Lots of color play examples, lots of highlighted text for things that are important. Just a beautiful production.
And they've got some really cool new things for that system coming out, like a book of short stories,
which is really cool.
With some
actually,
unique campaign with some unique missions based on those stories,
right,
which come from Heroes of Normandy. And I think they said they're looking to do a digital version of Lock and Load. And they talked about some other games they've got coming in the future.
Bloody Mohawk, which is a French and Indian War game, I think coming out, I wanted to say this month or next month. He also talked a little bit about, what were the other games he talked about? He talked about a couple. Oh, their card game, Point Blank.
And what is it? They got a new tactical game. It was...
Yeah. Gosh, I can't remember.
Red
something.
Red Eclipse.
Yes, Red Eclipse. Fireteam Red Eclipse.
That's what it is.
So that's a new tactical system in addition to the normal Lock and Load tactical system that we all know. He seemed pretty excited about it. I think he felt like that was going to be a very interesting system.
and different from
And
what
different from what-
Locomotive
yes.
offers, which is nice. Expanding their kind of tactical repertoire.
Yeah.
But again, we'll post an interview specifically with David. He goes through a lot of the details of that, which is really
And
nice.
David is a talker. I was actually cool with it because he gave us a lot of great information.
Oh, yeah.
But thanks, David. That was a good time. We enjoyed meeting you and we spent about 45 minutes there, 40 minutes there, which was great. That was one of our first things that we did.
What else we do? We dropped by Flying Pig Games.
Yeah,
Spent
later
a good
in the
amount of
afternoon.
time there.
About 3 in the afternoon, right? I think.
Yes, yeah. So we hooked up with Mark Holt Walker, who's the owner of Flying Pig Games.
Eddie Carlson, who works with Mark.
And then Herman Lutman
Mm-hmm.
was there. He was showing off their new collaboration called Crowbar, which is coming to Kickstarter
The
soon.
Rangers of Point Du Hoc.
And that looks really
Yeah,
cool.
that's a sweet looking game.
We got an interview with Herman Lutman about that game specifically. He showed us how it works. It looks really cool. I think we'll do a write-up of that.
Yeah.
We'll see pictures and we'll kind of show you how.
My one fear with that interview is, man, it was loud.
It was loud, but it should be fine.
It should pick up.
We'll get it together.
'Cause
I'll put subtitles on it.
He had a lot of good comments too. I was listening intently. But yeah, that game looks awesome. It's a solitaire game, but also has up to 3 players.
Yeah, you can
who
do a
can
co-op
play,
with it.
and it's cooperative competitive.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting for victory points, and you're each gonna. I think you win all together, or wait, you can lose all together, but then each company, Fox, Dog, and I think Lazy,
Easy.
I know, I'm just joking you. That was interesting. So
Yeah, that game looked really awesome.
Yeah.
And then Mark showed us Kursk.
Yep.
Which is a new
Platoon Commander
Command
Kursk.
Deluxe. Again, he sat down with an interview. We'll show you that as well in another video. That's just another Platoon level game. They've revamped the Platoon Leader Deluxe series, Platoon Commander Deluxe.
the counters were really awesome because they were simple counters.
Yeah, I was
They have
surprised.
simplified those. There's only, I think there were 4 numbers on each counter.
3, 4, I think 5 at the most.
And then they used colored boxes that were associated with range bands, and very interesting. I'm excited to see how that plays out. I think it's a very good memory device to understand. Oh, red is long range, or
Yeah, green
is short range, or
black is
whatever.
basically
Outer
close
range,
range.
yeah.
And they have it's Kursk, so it's east front, but it's a platoon level game and it's combined arms.
Right.
So you don't have to go through the whole of Barbarossa. It's a scenario driven game, and I think that's something that I'm looking for in east front games. I don't know how many times I can do Barbarossa over and over again.
Yeah.
But having it on a small tactical scale,
Yeah, it should be
in that
very
way
interesting.
That's at least fun and interesting from a narrative side. So that was a lot. We spent a long time there. Those guys at Flying Pig Games were really good to us.
Yeah, and it was interesting because it was a time in their booth where there was a lull, so we kind of had all their attention, and we were all kind of chatting it up. And Mark paid us some really big compliments. I won't go into details, but I think we were both kind of taken aback by that.
It was nice.
Very nice. Some of his words were very kind. And you know, it's validating. A lot of times Alexander and I, we put time in. You know, we're kind of one shot, one take video shooting. I mean, that's just the way we do it. Whoa. We got some.
So you get a big storm in the video like that.
Yeah, right. You know, but we put time into it. We try to be thoughtful. We try to be reflective. And we try to, I think, have good commentary, good back and forth. I don't know. They really just were very kind. And I appreciated that. So they didn't have to be, but I think it was very, it was very heartfelt. So we appreciated that. So there was some love fest going on there, and we appreciated that.
Origins. This was my first time going. I think Grant, you've been a couple times before.
Third time, yeah.
So for me, it was a really nice experience. I've been to Gen Con quite a few times. That convention is huge, and there are very few war games there. Really, it's Decision Games have a small booth where they sell, and Columbia Games have a booth.
And that's about all the war games
and
that are
that's,
there.
Yeah, that's it.
Generally.
Columbia will do demos. Academy Games are there with things like Conflict
Right,
of Heroes.
they're
and
there,
stuff like
sorry.
But that's really the extent of it from a traditional historical wargaming aspect. you see some of the miniatures games going on at times, but going to Origins and seeing a lot of these guys from these companies was really nice to see. The convention's much smaller and much less crowded. We went on a Saturday, which in theory is the busiest day,
and it was
there
were a lot of people there, but it was nowhere near.
I didn't feel like it was.
It was just nowhere near as crowded as Gen Con. Period.
So it was very refreshing to go there and to see that. It was really easy. We met up with a gentleman called Wendell Albright.
Yep.
He's a developer for Volker Runke's design called Nevsky. I'm gonna say that right, which is 13th century. Teutons versus Russians.
Germans versus Russians, right? Basically.
Right.
Germanic knights
it's
versus...
It's an East Front game I can get behind.
It's different. It's different than other East Front games, that's for sure.
And he was sat down with us and he walked through. There'll be an interview with him. Kind of going
that was
through
fun.
Some of those mechanics. Entirely unique game.
Yeah.
Entirely unique theme and... There's a lot to it. It's a Volker Runke design, so it's got a lot of moving parts. But I think it's going to be a really interesting game. That one's on GMT's P500,
and it's made the cut. I think it's probably a year away still. But
yeah.
But so the one thing I really liked about that game is there's a levy system. So you are in essence trying to recruit lords who are going to bring their vassals and their soldiers and their armies to fight on your side for a given period of time. Some of them may fight with you for only a month. Some, I think it's up to 4 months. You can actually extend their time by bribing them or paying them or giving them booty.
Yeah, make it...
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking of pirates, but giving them plunder.
Giving them
loot, plunder. Sorry. My mind's not working, dude, I'm telling you. So that was really interesting, and then the combat system is very interesting as well.
In that it's very simple.
Very simple.
But has a lot of nuance to it. And I thought, in a game that's 13th century Russian Teutons and versus Russians, not something that I would say is my forte in any way.
Right.
Like, he sold it. I'm very interested to play that, to see how that plays, and if a game with a theme like that can really grab me.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
I will be interested to... I don't know that Ancients is our forte.
That's not Ancients.
I know, but it's still... It's not modern.
It's medieval.
It's medieval. I just don't know that that's our... I don't know. It's just not our forte. Doesn't mean we don't like that, because we love Pendragon and Falling Sky and others, but... I don't know. I'm intrigued by it.
Yes.
I definitely am intrigued by the system.
Interest is piqued.
Yes. The mechanics are cool. And there's a playtest copy, so you're not going to win any style points there, although it didn't look bad. No. I thought the cards were cool. The cards were very interesting because they had an event on top and then some form of a capability on the bottom. So you could play it for the event or you could play it for the capability, which kind of went along with your lord. I liked that part.
And before you freak out, not a card-driven game.
No, it's not a card-driven game.
That's just like, you draw from the event deck during a phase, and you can do one of these two things.
Very, very cool. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's a game that I'll definitely be interested in.
Yeah, that was interesting.
After that. So thank you, Wendell. We appreciated your time. He kind of met with us last minute, and we met with him for about an hour.
Yes, we did.
So we appreciated that time. Have an interview with him. We'll post that as well. Right?
Yes.
It did record, right?
It did. It recorded, and it recorded well. You'll see that soon.
Okay, good.
I think outside of that, it was really cool just hanging around the convention center. There was a great international market with food there.
Yep.
It was just a nice experience. We met up with another wargame blogger called Katie Aidley.
Mm-hmm.
You may have seen her.
Corner.
She's on Twitter. So we sat down with her and kind of bandied about some questions of what it's like to be kind of a wargame blogger and have some kind of melding of the minds kind of thing.
It was fun. I enjoyed that.
So we'll post that soon as well. But overall, we only went for one day.
Yep.
And I had a total blast doing it, and I can't wait to go back next year.
Yep, I agree with that. I think we experienced a lot. I think we didn't see everything by any means, but I think we saw a lot of things. We also did demo Tutor.
Yes.
Which is a new game. I think the Kickstarter is literally ending tomorrow.
Yes.
I thought she said.
It'll probably be ended by the time I post this, frankly.
Right. So Tutor is an Academy Games game.
Yeah.
Based on the tutors of English monarchy, right?
It's
the family.
Yeah, it's more of a. It's like a.
It's a Euro game.
Abstract Euro game where you have little courtiers, they're cubes, and you're moving around on a board trying to
win influence,
collect favors and influence, and you gain rings, literal rings.
And there's a hand
that you
put these rings on. It was pretty interesting. Not
gonna
lie.
You wear your rings on your hand gives you special abilities and different.
Yep.
So you're trying to get lots of different rings and arrange them on your hands, which was cool. I've never seen anything quite like it. So that was interesting. Still no sign of Storms of Steel 2nd edition from Comic.
We asked, and
by the time I'm old and grey, maybe
it might be done.
Maybe it'll be done.
We did see a poster for 879 Vikings.
Yes.
Do you think that was just an error?
I don't know if that was a misprint or not, but when I saw it, I was like,
because the game is
878
Vikings.
Yeah.
I played that last year.
There was a big banner, and I checked it.
It said 879.
It definitely says 879.
So maybe it was a misprint.
Is it a misprint?
Maybe it was a misprint.
Is it a teaser for the future?
Maybe Academy Games can answer that for us. Is that a teaser? Question mark? So, but that was fun. We also played a game from Solar Flare called Robotech Force of Arms.
Yes.
It was a card deck or card game. I love Robotech, frankly. When I was a child in the 70s, Robotech was about as big as it got. Robotech, Voltron, etc. So I was really into Robotech. So I've always had a soft space in my heart for Robotech. So we did a demo, interesting looking game. We're going to write on it. It was a $20 card game.
Quick little card
Plays
game.
in about 30 minutes, and it looked kind of fun and had a lot of interesting things. So we kind of demoed that.
Yes.
What else did we do?
I'm sure we did a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of different things. Academy Games in their kind of gaming section had a giant 3D version of 1812.
They did. It was... no,
it was
1754.
1754.
And it was gorgeous.
I mean, 3D terrain with all, everything on there.
Miniatures.
And instead of a cube, it was a tiny,
formation
2
of
millimeter
soldiers.
Formation of 3 guys on the board, and that was... And so you had tons of guys, so it looked like it was real balance being pitched.
That was gorgeous. Cool. That was gorgeous. We went to the Grogheads booth. We talked to some people there.
They had some good games they were demoing.
Next year, I think we want to try to get some events going.
Yeah, we just weren't there for all that long. So.
Well, we had 5 interviews scheduled, so that was most of our day, to be honest. Throw in lunch, and the funny thing is we actually tried to get there for an interview at 8 a.m., I think it was a miscommunication, so we...
Well, yeah, the hall's closed.
Yeah, the hall was closed. We couldn't get in. They couldn't find anybody. So we left at 4:30 for no reason, basically. But that's okay. We're okay. Tomorrow's Father's Day. We're going to go home and...
Tomorrow's sleep-in day.
Yeah, sleep in and then enjoy some time with our families. But once again, Origins, if you have never been to Origins and you live within 2 or 3 hours of Columbus, Ohio, it is well worth your time. 1 tank of gas we spent, and we had a great time. 3 hours in the car each way, well worth our time. Made a lot of great connections, followed up with a lot of cool people, had some good times, played some neat games, got to look at a lot of neat games.
A lot of excitement for some good games coming in the future.
And we picked up some new games that we're going to play over the next couple of months, and so I had a good time.
I had a total blast. Like you said, if you haven't been to Origins, I highly recommend it. A lot of nice, cool people there. It's a very laid-back convention. Wasn't particularly busy, and there's great food and hospitality to be had there.
Right around there, yep.
So I appreciate you checking us out. That's kind of just the overview of the day we spent at Origins here, 2018. And we've been theplayersaid.com.